Hey everyone, I just wanted to let you guys know before we get started that this is going to be split into two videos. The first video is going to be the builds and the abilities that I've gotten and the talents, which is this one. And the second one, which I'll upload at the same time, is going to be the gameplay. The video is just going to be way too long, and I just wanted to split it up into two different pieces. So some of it may sound off if I'm talking in the video and I say like, hey, skip to this time for the combat and whatever. Just know that this video is going to be the breakdown of the talents and the abilities, and the next one is going to be the combat. So just want to get that out really quickly, but I appreciate everyone and enjoy. Hey everyone, it's Arkondus Gaming. Thank you for tuning in to another video, and I appreciate all the love. Make sure to like and subscribe for future content. But we're back with our Drain Tank character. We did get him to level 60. And we've done a lot with this character, and go ahead and show you what I chose now. So we chose Moonkin form, Lightwell, and Pain Suppression. So I'll go ahead and discuss that when we take a look at all the abilities after we did our rerolls. So let's take a look, and then we'll go into talents as well. In this video, we're going to be soloing BRD. We did get Emperor down. There's some tomfoolery to be had. But we do get him down. We do complete BRD. If you guys want to skip all this, skip the talents, skip the abilities, go to this time right now. But let's go ahead and discuss what we have for this level 60 build. Let's go over the talents. So maybe you guys can try to copy this as much as you can so you can go into those dungeons and solo them as well. Been having a lot of fun. This is exactly what I wanted the character to do. Just go in there, solo dungeons, and get some PVE loot. Okay. Start with the abilities first. Druid, we got the Moonkin form. We did pick it up because we are benefiting from the armor and some spell haste and some spell crit. So when we go into Moonkin form, we get 2,000, about 2,000 armor, which is really nice. We have all cloth gear and leather gear on, so maybe it'll be better to get straight up leather gear for even more armor, but we have a mix and match of both. Moving on, in the Hunter tree, we do have both traps. We had Repentance before, but we ended up rolling it off for some extra talent points, and we did end up getting Freezing Trap, which could help the same. We are able to CC pretty much anything. It's not limited to like humanoids and dragonkin or whatever like Repentance was. So if we needed to CC a mob, we can probably do that really quickly with Freezing Trap. Frost Trap, of course, we've had just to slow down. We did spec into the root, so if we needed to kite a little bit and just back up, redot, or just get some HP back, we can Frost Trap, run away, and then drain life. In the Warrior tree, we do have Execute. This is an ability that I kept on this character just for the sub 20%. Just get that big juicy burst out there, and then continue to drain life. Or maybe it's just a mob that it's not a boss mob, you want to just finish it off real quick. Execute is perfect for that. It does scale off attack power, but it depends on your rage as well, and we always have max rage for the most part because we're just getting hit by everything. Mage, we did end up getting Blizzard, which we replaced for Rain of Fire. Does more damage, it does cost more mana, but we haven't put any talents into it just yet. Maybe we should. For extra damage and maybe the kiting capabilities. Conjure Food, good. We have Dispel Curse, which has come in very handy. Curses are some of the most annoying things in the game. And we're just able to Dispel Curse. I mean, there's better ones out there. We did end up getting rid of Cure Poison, but Dispel Curse is pretty good as well. On the Paladin tree, we do have a lot. We have Blessing of Sanctuary, which we were lucky to roll. It gives us stamina and strength, and it gives us mana back when we block or parry. So that's really good for our build. Devotion Aura is going to give us that extra armor, which is nice as well. Hand of Protection, probably one of the best abilities I've rolled. If we're getting shit on with auto attacks, we could just easily Hand of Protection and heal to full. Because we can cast spells, we just can't use abilities like Sinister Strike, Execute, Rupture, all the melee abilities. Hand of Reckoning, I've still chosen to keep. I haven't done any group dungeons since I've hit 60. But having a taunt, just in case I do get into a raid, maybe they need an off tank. Who knows? But I'm keeping Hand of Reckoning for now. Maybe if I just stick to the solo leveling, we can get rid of this. Holy Shield, we were lucky enough to roll as well. For some reason, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure this is intended, but when you go into Moonkin form, like, we get 0 parry and 0 block. I'm not sure if we put points into talents, it will disappear as well. But if we're in Moonkin form and then we use this, we get a 30% block chance, which is nice. It's good that it still keeps our block chance when we're in Moonkin. So this works perfectly, not only to mitigate damage, but to deal damage back. We do have defensive magic in random enchant, so even while we're casting Blizzard, Drain Life, anything, we'll still be able to block and dodge. So really good that we were lucky enough to get Holy Shield. Righteous Fury, again, mostly for threat. We do have points into reducing the damage you take by like 3%. Again, we're keeping this just in case we do get into a group and we need to hold aggro. But again, we are talenting it to reduce the damage, I believe. But then we'll go into talents in a second. We rolled Devouring Plague, which is very nice because it does heal us back when we cause damage with this ability, and it does shadow damage. So the more damage we're doing, the more we're healing back. And this has some synergy in our random chance, which I'll go in a second. But yeah, really good ability. Just even for boss fights, we cannot spread more than 1 Devouring Plague on a target, so we can always just put it on one target and drain the rest of the targets. Or if it's a boss fight, we'll benefit from the healing from that. Lightwell is really good, and let me go over to the training dummy really quick just to show you guys why Lightwell is so good for this build. I was really thinking about it. I was maybe thinking about getting a DPS cooldown instead of pain suppression, because we don't have a defensive. That's why I opted to go pain suppression. It does cost 4 points, but this is the reason why Lightwell is so good. So we place a Lightwell down, go into our Moonkin form, dot him up. We're draining. Boom. We can heal ourselves with Lightwell mid drain life. There is a cooldown on it. We have to wait to click it again, but This is so huge for the build that we can sit here, click the renew, and not even have to stop our drain life. So the healing from that is crazy. That's why we opted to go Lightwell. And since we're in Moonkin form, we can't cast heals while in Moonkin form, but we can place the Lightwell and click it while in Moonkin form. So we're healing ourselves even though we're in Moonkin form, besides using our drain life and all our dots. So I thought that was really, really good, and it just complemented the build very well. That's why I opted to go Lightwell. And then again, pain suppression. I mean, I don't know if there's better picks. Pain suppression only lasts how long? 8 seconds. 8 seconds, 40% cooldown reduction. I was thinking about going like Disperse, or I don't think we can get Shield Wall because we don't have defensive stance. No. So I thought pain suppression was the best, and we can just use it, and we're still able to like drain life, use our healing from the Lightwell, and do all our spells while we have the defensive on. So it's not like Disperse where we can't cast or we can't do anything while we're in that dispersion. So that's why I opted to go pain suppression for this build. Moving on next, Power Word Fortitude. Again, I'm so glad I got the 2 like stamina buffs. The more stamina we have, the more damage we can take, because we're healing back so much. We just want to have a little bit more HP to be able to not get one-shotted, basically, and heal it all back. Moving on to our next set of abilities. We got some pretty good ones. Ghostly Strike, which does increase our dodge by 10% when we use it. If we had a two-handed on, it'd be parry. But this is always good as well, because, again, we need as much mitigation as we can. Just, even though we're healing back, we want to try to take as least damage as we can. And we don't put a lot of points into mitigation with this build. Maybe I should, but Ghostly Strike and Holy Shield are really 2 abilities that come in clutch for us. We do have an interrupt in kick, really helpful for those packs that there's a healing mob and you just want to focus that one kick and then go back to your drain lives. Rupture, really good as well. We had Eviscerate before, but Rupture can work really well with our corruption because we do have a random enchant. Again, I'll show you in just 1 second. Sinister Strike, of course, to spread our corruption and just gain our combo points so we can rupture and just do some damage in melee. There are some bosses in BRD especially that become immune to magic. That's why having a balance of both really suits the build. Even though, like, sometimes we can't drain our life back, we can use a light well, we have lesser healing wave, and we can just melee them down and use our melee abilities. So I say we lucked out with that. Going to Shaman, Flame Tongue weapon, really good. I do like the damage from the auto attacks, but increasing our spell damage by 25, I mean, it really does help. We haven't talented to make Flame Tongue better. Maybe we get some random chance for it. My random chance are not complete, so maybe we can get some to boost the output of our spell damage from Flame Tongue weapon. Lesser healing wave again. Probably not the best hard cast heal, but I really enjoy having one just in case. We can trap, kite back, maybe toss a heal out really quick and stabilize and then go back into our drain. So I think having a heal is really important as well, and it has saved us in many occasions. So I'm glad that we do have lesser healing wave. And then water shield, again, very important for our builds. We're able to spam these and utilize this in between each drains, and every time we get meleeed, we get our mana back. So this is probably top 5 most important things in our build, because if we run out of mana, we're pretty much dead. So this makes sure we never run out of mana and we can always use our abilities. And then Warlock, Corruption, of course, very important. Demon Armor, very important as well. We're getting increased healing, and we did spec into it for even more healing from it. So this is one of the abilities we did start with. We started Corruption, Sinister Strike, Demon Armor, and something else, which I totally forgot. Drain Light, right? Yeah, no? I don't know. I honestly don't know what the 4th ability was. It's been so long. I'm so sorry. Maybe you guys can... I just look back and remember it. But yeah, we use a Drain Life card for this build, and I mean it's been really fun. So Corruption, Demon Armor, and Drain Life, what a great combo to have. And then Curse of the Elements as well, we did pick up, which helps increase our damage on the target. Not only that, but we can just put something else on the target just to have something, make it less boring. But Curse of Elements, the more damage we do to the target, the more we heal back from it. So I think this is really perfect as well for the build. All right, so those are the abilities. Let's get into the talents. And again, this is just me messing around with some. Maybe you guys have even better talents or better routes I can go with all these. But please let me know in the comments below, or maybe if these are good. Maybe if I rolled everything perfect. But oh, actually, before that, I'm so sorry. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let me go over my Mystic Enchants really quickly. Again, we haven't finished it. I'll just go over the ones that we are most important. Again, this build wouldn't be possible without Unbounded Drain Life, which makes our Drain Life a conal frontal effect. Defensive magic, really important as well. So while we're casting, we can dodge, parry, and block. So that's why it's so awesome we can Holy Shield and then go into our Drain Life, and then we can be blocking while we're casting our Drain Life. And then next we do have Hailstorm, which makes our Blizzard a cast instead of a channel effect. So in some situations, if there's like a pack of mobs right here, you'll probably see when I just show the BRD footage later. I start off with a Blizzard, Corruption, spread the Corruption, and then go into our Drain. So we're benefiting from damage from our Blizzard and just outputting a lot of damage. I think having an AoE like this really does help just to kill stuff faster and move the dungeons along even faster. So that's why we picked that up. Corrupted Wounds. So this increases the damage of my Corruption and Shadowbolt by targets afflicted by my Rupture. So that's why getting Rupture was so nice, and it's so cool to see all these random enchants that you can combo with. So while we're getting combo points from Sinister Strike, Ghostly Strike, we can toss in a Rupture to increase the damage of our Corruption. And again, the more damage we do, the more we heal back. So that's perfect. Very fun in single target. It kind of gets hard to spread your Ruptures with multi-target, but some of this is more for just single target boss fights. Pestilence, again, is to spread out Corruption, so you want this as well for those groups. so you don't have to keep tabbing and casting your corruption. And then Devouring Plague increases the damage of your drain life by 3%, so 3 times to 9%, afflicted by your Devouring Plague. So another good synergy with our Devouring Plague. Just put this on the target, and then we just get more healing from our drain life. So we lucked out with rolling some fun abilities here that I never thought were even going to be possible to combo with. And good thing we were able to look and find. But maybe we can find some more random enchants to put on here. Let me know what you guys think, what I should be going for. But that's it for the random enchants and abilities. Let's head over to the talents. So of course, for one of our first 60 ability or 60 talents, we picked Moonkin form, not only to contribute from our armor, from the cloth and leather, but also like just give us some spell crit. And we did go into improved Moonkin form to benefit even more from our armor and just get some haste. And we get 9% of our spirit as additional spell damage. So we're going to be wanting to wear a lot of cloth and leather because they give us spirit and intellect. And the more mana we have, I mean, the more we can use our abilities. Because I think if we didn't have this big of a mana pool, we'd be running out of mana a lot, even without Water Shield. Or even with Water Shield, so that's what we picked in that tree. Hunter tree, we picked Entrapment, of course. When your Frost Trap is triggered, you entrap all affected targets, preventing them from moving for 4 seconds. Again, really good if I get interrupted, which happens a lot, and I need to just, you know, stabilize and stun, or just move away for a second. I drop my trap. They all get rooted there. Wait for the interrupt silence to go away, and then start casting again from a distance. Or again, trap, blizzard, and then go into drain. So really good, really good talent. Next, we went to the Mage tree. In the Arcane Mage tree, to get Arcane Fortitude, increases your armor by an amount equal to 150% of your intellect. I don't know the maths. I'm not sure how much we're benefiting from this, but it's a good amount of armor for picking this talent. And then we're going into the Fire tree in the Mage tree, or Fire Mage tree, excuse me. So we got Burning Determination, really, really important as well. So it reduces all damage taken while affected by a silence effect by 30%. And having a spell cast interrupted by any silence or interrupt or crowd control makes you immune to the next silence or interrupt effect. This may only occur once every 20 seconds. So this is really good against multiple packs that have multiple interrupts. So if we do get interrupted, next time our drain life won't be interrupted, so we can get HP back. So really important. I think someone in the comments in one of the other videos let me know of this talent, and this has been a lifesaver on many occasions. So I'd say this is one of the more important ones to pick up for sure. Then we go into the Paladin tree. We do pick up Improved Righteous Fury. This is honestly just to give us 3% damage reduction. I haven't grouped up a lot, so we're not really benefiting from the threat. Maybe I can get rid of this, put 3 points into something more important. Not too sure yet. Then we have our Blessing of Sanctuary and Holy Shield. And that's it for the Paladin tree. Let's move on to the Priest. We picked up mental strength here, which increases our total intellect by 10% and reduces spell damage taken by 3%. I think the spell damage here is very important. Maybe there's a better talent than this, but more intellect and spell damage reduction is very important. I mean, we have the armor, but we get dumpstered a lot by things that cast on us. So having just any type of spell damage reduction really does help. And then, of course, we went into Pain Suppression for a defensive. 3-minute cooldown. Maybe you guys can let me know if there's a better one. But yeah, maybe Penance could be good. But I kind of like Pain Suppression because we can keep drain lifing and keep doing our thing while we have some damage reduction up. So that's why I opted to go that. And I mean, we use the rest of our points here and improve the Devouring Plague just to increase the damage done. And again, more damage means more healing, so we just toss 2 points into that. Moving on to a Rogue, we do have Ghostly Strike. That's pretty much it. Nothing really in Shaman, no talents here. Nothing in the Warrior, and then Warlock, of course, is the big tree for us. Demonology, we picked up Demonic Aegis. So this is going to increase the effectiveness of our demon armor and the spell hit chance. Okay, so not really benefiting off the second thing. It increases the effectiveness of our demon armor by 100%. So let's look at demon armor real quick. So increases our armor by 630 and increases the healing by 10%. It doesn't specifically show it here on the buff. Let's just make sure that's actually real. Let's take this off. Yeah, 600 whatever armor. So that's really good. Not only are we healing more from it, but we're getting more armor. And then Affliction is where we have pretty much all our points in. Improved Corruption. Our Corruption now benefits from Spell Haste. We have some Spell Haste there, not the most. Again, the more ticks we get out, the more we heal from it. The more damage we get out, the more we heal from it as well. Soul Siphon. Increase the amount drained by your drained life. So no brainer here for our abilities, and increases when we have more afflictions on a target. Fel Concentration, probably the most important talent for this build. Put 3 points into this, you'll never get knockback. Like, you know how sometimes there's cast knockback? Like if you get hit, it channels even less. This makes it so your drain life never gets pushed back. So you get the full duration of your drain life no matter what, unless you get interrupted. Improved Corruption, just more damage for Corruption, for more healing. Soul Siphon, I mean, another probably second most important talent. You heal with your Corruption now when you do damage. Shadow Mastery just increases our damage and life drain, so more healing from that. Pandemic, increases damage by your Corruption, and it grants us the ability to be our Corruption to be crit, right? All right. So Pandemic is good, increased damage, and we get the crit from it, so we get a little bit of more healing if it does crit. We don't have the most crit in the world, but it's okay. I guess that little spike does help. And then Everlasting Affliction. So this makes it so when we drain life, the Corruption on the target is refreshed. So we don't have to keep spamming Sinister Strike to refresh it. Maybe, you know, get in a pickle and we can't refresh our Corruption. So we can always benefit from the Corruption heals while just spamming drain life. I know there's another talent that increases the final tick of Corruption by 30%. Maybe this can be good for like a good burst heal. So maybe I could take 2 points out of Devouring Plague and 3 out of here to go 5 points into this, just to get that big burst, and we'll have to rely on reapplying our Corruption with our Sinister Strikes. But yeah. That's pretty much it for the build. Essentially, we would just like to Blizzard, keep up Corruptions with Sinister Strike, use our mitigation wherever we can, drain life. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the build. I will be showing, we ran BRD and we full cleared it. Again, there were some interesting things that happened. I know this video is already like 20 minutes long with me just going over the build. But I think I'm just going to show some footage afterwards, just so you guys know that this build does work. We are going into dungeons and we are clearing stuff. And again, this is exactly what I wanted in a build. I've been looking for a build like this for a while. Just solo PVE content. We probably won't be doing any raids, solo raids anytime soon, or even at all. But maybe we can go into like ZG and farm like the mobs in there. That'd be nice. But either way, guys, we're gonna go ahead and show some BRD clips. I'm probably just going to show me taking down bosses. I was in there for a while, but we're able to take it down. But again, let me know what you guys think about the build. Are you guys going to try this as well? Again, very fun for those who like to solo and do PvE content. But maybe help me with the build. Is there anything else I should be looking for, or anything better I could have picked? But shout out to Heelstar. But either way, let's get that BRD going, and I appreciate everyone. Thank you for all the support, and enjoy.